I'm going to show you how something as simple as an Apple announcement links to cryptocurrency through Gematria. So over here we look beyond matter itself and we look to see how everything correlates with each other basically. So anyway, welcome if you are new. My name is Kelita Sahliah. I am a mother, I am an angel, and I also dabble in crypto. So here we are. Over here, we look at the actual visible sky, not mainstream astrology. That is inaccurate. It's off. So we look at the visible sky and we use that to see how it may or may not impact the crypto market. So for those who are new, we usually touch on some gematria, if anything has happened on the world stage. We then move into the astrological story of what's happening this cycle, and then we'll touch on to the technical analysis for Bitcoin, XRP, and the DXY. So, welcome. This is Crypto Angles podcast number 31. The 3 and the 1. 3 and 1 make 4. So this is structure, law, and order. You're seeing this right here. And we're entering into a new frequency. Also, before we do start, I do have this calendar on. There's a big sale, 40% off right now, digital and physical copies available. Feel free to grab that if you'd like, or stay tuned for the next year's calendar, 2024 into 2025. I do also offer personal readings based on the visible sky. So if you are interested in that, do let me know. Also, let me show you, is it here? I have done the energy update for this cycle and for the numerology of November. So the numerology, we've got 6, 7, and 9. So we've got as above, so below, with source right in the middle. So check out that video where I go into much more detail of it. But as we go through this video, do keep in mind that these are the energies along with number 4, structure, law, and order. So my videos aren't for the faint-hearted. It's just not. So if you got a shit attention span, galeng, take away yourself, goodbye. Okay, just goodbye. But let's get into it anyway. Let's get into it. So we're doing a little recap. We're touching back on the India Sun mission. Now, I did a recap of this in the last video as well, as we touched on the weather extremes. But this India Sun mission, we had Apple announcements. So this is where it's like, I'd like you to pay attention to what pops up in your life. If you have an Apple device, you've probably seen this. But the moment I had an Apple announcement, I was like, okay, okay, something is coming up. So there's a little recap in this thread. This is my threads, by the way, on Instagram. Feel free to follow me there. But this is a little recap as well as some extra. So let's get into it anyway. We had an Apple announcement and it's coming tomorrow. It's coming on Monday at midnight. So basically Tuesday. So I feel this video is coming out right on time, and as we get into like the numerology of stuff, if you see the mouse moving on the screen, 189 Apple announcement equals to 189, an 8 in Chaldean. That's interesting, and that falls down to a 9. In my mind, numbers collapse into themselves. Numbers is the base code of our reality, basically, where light becomes entangled in, gets trapped, and that's how light is densified into matter. Within the geometry is numbers. So 1 and 8 equal 9, 9 and 9 equal 18, 1 and 8 again equals 9. So we've got this 9 energy, that as above. So it's like that as above energy is coming down. Keep that in mind and do check out the numerology that I did. But anyway, let's get into it. This is a recap. So like some of it is going to be a recap, but I found some extra stuff. So feel free to check out the India Sun mission where you'll see some other things I've not included. But let's go through this quickly. I've got a lot to say. So we've had X marks the spot. Again, we spoke about that before. Ripple case settled. So this announcement, it's coming out. Ripple case settled. The seal has been broken. So an energetic shield. These eclipses that we've just gone through has ended like a 2-year cycle. 2021 it started, and I don't know if you've noticed, change happened then. Did you transform? Did you tap into your gifts? Was you more inclined to do stuff? But anyway, seals have been broken. energetically a shift has happened. The hiding stuff in plain sight right here. This is not a drill. I found this interesting because I had, and I'm seeing a black cat as confirmation, but I had a email from Pretty Little Thing probably about about three cycles ago. I don't like to use the word WEEK, but anyway, and it come up with this is not a drill, and I was like, whoa. So again, that was another link to this. It's just like, pay attention to what comes up in your life, basically. Rainbow currency we have, which, you know, the bridge currency, the dimensional key. As we have stepped through this energetic shift, this energetic transformation, basically, it's a dimensional key. Like, we're shifting. Another black cat. Wow, we're shifting dimensions. Okay, well, we're expanding in more awareness. All right, this is a whole opportunity that's happening right now. I think I need to click it, otherwise it's not going to show me everything. So this opportunity, we've got Phoenix here. Phoenix is rising. We've had a lot of those codes coming up with a lot of stuff happening. We're entering into the year of the dragon in 2024. This is the final curtain call. House of Metatron. I found this interesting because a song that keeps popping up in my head when I read this is Metatron's cube should be common knowledge. That's a line in a song from Traumatic. So Dr. Dimensional, whatever he calls himself. So I'm not big on like the mythology of stuff, but Metatron, the black cube, Saturn, time, it links to Saturn and time. And we've got a lot of Saturn's time. We're entering back into Saturn's time. Titan submersible. Now, I do want to show you this on my Instagram just here. I done a full decode of this Titan submarine. This is when I first got more into Gematria, but I done like loads as it goes through. Feel free to just look at this, but yeah, Titan Summer Slide, we went through all of this. There's a little song playing as well.
In order to know. Sometimes you got a break, you know.
What is it?
The world is my own,
yeah. I don't want to get stopped, but check this out. I did like a whole thing on that, and it's on my highlights, so feel free to check that out. So again, the fact that this popped up with the Titan submersible, now this was planned 111 years ago when the Titanic went down, even before that. And the Titanic is part of the major plan. Like, it's in the decodes, it's in the Gematria. It's part of the jackpot, it's part of the major plan that the elite are using. So again, the fact that this has popped up with this Apple announcement, which is coming out in 2 days, essentially, you know, just it all connects. There's no coincidences towards unity. So again, this energy shift, we are coming towards unity with people. We're coming towards unity with people who will benefit us, whether this is romantic, platonic, business wise, but we're coming towards unity right now. Unexpected money, I'll take unexpected and expected, and abundance and more. I'm open to receive. Take that affirmation. None of this is real. It's all the part of the show. It's literally the code playing out itself. The hologram's just playing itself. We are playing ourselves. Great conjunction. I found this interesting because there will be like a great conjunction with Mars and Venus in February. Now, we've had some dates coming up for February. We've had Easter is the timeline for a few things. So just keep that in mind. Perception of time. I'm seeing that our perception of time is changing. We're going into like Saturn's time. Saturn is time, and like things may be speeding up. Like it may be like, whoa, I've got this far, or I've accomplished this much, or this much has changed, and in so little time. So just keep that in mind. A Knight of Swords. So I was just like, okay, what's a Knight of Swords in tarot? So Knight of Swords is ambitious, is action orientated, driven to succeed, and fast thinking. Obviously the reverse is that. But yeah, it's charging ahead with great energy. It's a symbol of dedication to his purpose and mission. So the white horse symbolizes the purity of the intellectual energy that motivates the knight. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Let's come off of that. Feel free to just read that if you'd like, pause it and read. But we're coming through this Knight of Swords energy, like actions moving. So because of that, if your life gets a bit more active and things are just like, oh, just pay attention to that. But I mentioned more of that in my energy update. Teach your children. It's time, people. This Apple announcement is confirming to teach your pitney. Teach them. Positive energy is coming through with positive energy. Now we've got the Elon Musk bridge. When it comes to like Gematria, you don't really pay much attention to like the simple letters like A and the, but this popped up, so I find it interesting because Elon is doing the most right now on the world stage, and I just feel he is literally just living out his code and he's doing what he needs to do. Yeah, he's doing exactly what he needs to do. We've got seventh seal opened, so again, this was like biblical references happening here, a lot of biblical references. So in Revelation, energy is being opened, etc., etc. Like maybe the seventh one isn't open. If you check out Archaics, he talks a lot about these seals if you're interested in that. Mass awakening now, it is happening. It's all a direct correlation. There are no coincidences happening right now. Access the timelines, going back to time and Saturn. So this energy collapse is, it's like opening these timelines that you can just pick. Choose your timeline. Choose your timeline. Time travel is real. Feel this comes back to accessing the timelines for one, and this perception of time, Saturn, just like, oh, okay, we're moving quickly in time, etc., etc. So I'll just put that there. It calms me, this song. So again, we've had the weather extremes. And then we had financial security along with sterling silver. I am the bride and I am ready. So the bride being Mama Gaia, being the earth, and she's ready to, I guess, transform. But we're going to move on to the Hebrew version now, as you can see it here. But the Hebrew version coming up with it's 700, as you can see, and we're getting the 7. In the numerology of November, we had 7. So we've got the 9, the 7, and the 6. As above, so below, with source in the center. 7 is source completion. So again, we've got XRP moons. XRP's in there. This could also be XPR. So I'm still keeping my eye on XPR Proton. Yeah, I'm keeping my eye on that. But anyway, XRP moons, interesting. We also had XRP November come up in our decodes as well. So just keep in mind of that. Monopoly, it's all Monopoly, it's all a game. Crypto, spelled with a different K with instead of a C. But this is just telling me this Apple announcement, it's signaling crypto, and those who can read this and know Gematria, we'll see. The elite will know, basically. Entrepreneurs moving in Saturn's time are going to do well. We are in the age of Aquarius, and Saturn is in Aquarius right now, and it will station direct on the 4th. It's stationed direct on the 4th. I've done a whole video about it. Feel free to check that out because it's also deep. Okay. A son of Cronus. Cronus is the mythology character for Saturn, and Saturn is time. So again, we're getting a lot of time and Saturn coming up here. We've got the custodians. Now, the custodians are one of the 3 external races that are manipulating humanity right now and doing the most to keep us divided. This is big. They are involved in this. Like the elite, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, they're irrelevant at the end of the day. It's these. These are one of them, one of the 3, and they're doing the most. Okay, they're doing the most. Is the mark of the beast. So again, another biblical reference. It's not saying like, oh, we've already technically got the mark of the beast. It's our phone in our hands. Terror attacks. If this obviously comes up, you know what's being signaled. I found this interesting. Biohydrogen DNA. Yes, go on there. biohydrogen DNA. I was meant to Google kind of like what it is, but I forgot. But I just found this interesting. Like, what is this? The fact that it's hydrogen, bio, and DNA. Electronic identification, we're moving to digital IDs. That's linked to this Apple announcement. And we've got the Queen of Pentacles as well. So, oh dear, what's happening? Queen of Pentacles energy. Basically, nurturing, practical, providing financially. The opposite is, this. But material success, sensual pleasures. So, yeah, wealth and success. So, do keep that in mind. And here's the moon. So, feel free to look back on that if you would like. But now, let's get back into the astrological story. If any of them things, if that was of interest to you, because it was like, it's just an Apple announcement, but it doesn't mean nothing, it's still signaling something at the end of the day. So, yes, do let me know if that was any of interest to you. And forgive me, I've gone mumbled on my words because my children have distracted me. So, we are in the last few days of October. Nothing is happening here. But we have just had our lunar eclipse. So happy lunar eclipse, everybody. Happy lunar eclipse. And we're now in November. Oh, sweetheart, have this one then. Okay. Sweetheart, I'm doing my work. Come here, sit on my lap. So, okay, it's all right. It's okay. You're going to have to wait until I finish my work. Forgive me, people. I don't know how to pause this or stop it. So it just has to record one time. So let's get into the energy of November. Ephesians. I didn't say. I did say this is on sale. You can grab it if you'd like. So this is the cycle we're on. So what is happening? We've got Saturn station in direct. This is time. So this is big. Do go and check out my video. Go check out my video, Saturn Station Direct, where I talk so much more about this. But then we have Venus. Oh, it's a big aeroplane. We have Venus in transiting into Virgo. And then we have the Sun entering Libra. So, as I said, this calendar and I follow the actual visible sky. It's different to mainstream astrology. So many people are probably assuming that it's Scorpio season right now, but the sun in the sky has literally just entered Libra. Well, it's coming to the end of Virgo, and it's ready to come into Libra. So what is this telling me, and how am I seeing this having any impact on the crypto market? So the sun represents our ego. Essentially, it's the magnetism, and it's what your ego is, how you interact with the reality, how you interact with the hologram, and it's the experiences that you draw to yourself. So essentially what's happening right now, and even within the market, is balance. We are drawing to ourselves now balance, not only in our lives but just in every area. So I mentioned in my last video, last cycle, that balance is coming because we had Mars and Mercury, and Mercury is all about monetary exchange. We had that entering Libra. So this balancing of energies is now coming in. And now, as the sun is entering there, these experiences are going to be coming to you. You are going to experience them. And the way you are operating through your ego is going to be all about bringing in that balance. So the market essentially is balancing out. And Virgo, with Venus going into Virgo, Venus is all about the material. So literally in your material, as you are drawing in experiences to you which will help balance things out, so the market's balancing out, your actual physical experience is still in this Virgo energy. So you will be having balancing experiences, so to say, or an opportunity to see, oh, is this balance, or do I need to work on it, whilst you're experiencing it, you're using this Virgo energy, looking at all the details still, making sure you are giving yourself in the best way possible. Mercury is fueled by, no, Virgo is fueled by Mercury. So it's all about monetary exchange. Venus does cover not only love, but money as well, because that is a material possession. So you are going to be experiencing balance. And as you're experiencing that, you are still going to be looking at looking at the details. You're still going to be quite analytical. You're still going to be making sure you're experiencing what you want in the best way, which will bring about this balance. So in essence, I'm going to be paying attention to the Venus line in the technical analysis, but in essence, when it comes to the market, I'm still seeing balance coming through. Balance, but there still may be a little bit of this slow Virgo energy, because Virgo is an earth sign. So as balance is coming, you know, we've seen Bitcoin spike up. It has spiked up. But it's creating its structure. And of course, with Saturn station in direct, we're now moving forward in time with all of these balancing energies. So the market was just going down, it was ranging, it was finding its bottom and creating slightly higher highs, etc., etc. So now the whole market is getting ready to move forward. Okay, it's getting ready to move forward. We are still in this full moon energy, so the price is still getting ready to find its bottom. It's finding its new support level. Okay, we are in this full moon energy until it's about 5 days after. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, basically pretty much till the end of this whole cycle. Throughout this whole cycle, price could still be bottoming out, fully securing that. It could happen earlier, it could already be done. We'll take a look at the technical analysis now, but do keep that in mind, that as price has spiked up, as we will soon see, it's getting ready to fully find its support, or it has, to then continue its way up as time is moving forward, as Saturn stationing direct. So that's what I'm seeing with the astrological story of the sky. And let's see how that could be impacting the actual markets. So let's take a look. I have figured out why these things weren't working. I couldn't put on an extra signal. It's because they've changed it from three indicators to 2. Yes. Oh, go and ask Sahliah to get it out for you, because darling, I'm in the middle of my work and I can't pause it. I'm almost finished though. I'll be super fast. So basically, this is Bitcoin. This is Bitcoin. So let's take a look. Yes, Alethea. You can once I've finished this.
Mommy?
Yes, darling. Please forgive me, people.
Mommy,
Not right now, after you've had some lunch. So, as we can see, Bitcoin has literally just bounced right off. And do you want to know what I find interesting? This orange line here, this orange line is Venus. So this orange line is Venus right here. And look how Bitcoin, like, it went under it. It was rejected. Let's zoom in. Oh, is it going to zoom in? It got rejected off, it went down, and then it broke above it and then found support. Come under the blanket then, darling. And then it found support off Venus, and look how it just bounced up. There you go. My daughter's 3, so please be patient with me. Please be patient. So, yeah, I like how Bitcoin just bounced up. Here you go. There's the blanket. It just bounced up. So we've had that big extension, and I did say in my last video, I was like, to be fair, I was like, it could like retrace down a little, but when Bitcoin's ready to move, it's just ready to move. And as you can see, before I put on all the drawings, it has created a higher high. So this was its last high. since here it then touched it again, and now we've broke past it. So that's amazing, and it's looking likely, just without putting up any charts, it would be healthy to get a retest to at least 31.6, 31. That may even just be 32. No, potentially, basically in between 31 to 32k Bitcoin could retrace back to, and that would be healthy, that would be fine, to be fair, because it's just super overextended. 31 to 32 was the last high over here, so it makes sense to find its support there. As I said, it needs to, we are in the full moon energy still, so it's still finding, oh, what's happened there, it's still finding its bottom. Yeah, it's still finding its bottom, and to be honest, a retracement back to 31 to 32 would be just super healthy and ideal. Not only that, but I feel, did I mention this in my last video? I'm not sure, because I was like, this looks like a good seat, but it's probably not going to sit here now. The 200 moving average and Uranus have crossed over, and I feel that alone has was some of the momentum potentially that just skyrocketed it up, as well as the whole eclipse season. Because if you check out Waters Above videos, he's made it clear, like after the second solar eclipse, when we are in a solar cycle, Bitcoin kind of just moves on up. It just moves on up. But as I says, a retracement back to here would be perfectly normal, whilst as this moving averages is just being crossed over, basically. Yeah, and it would kind of give time, allow time to move up. You need to hold on until I finish, sweetheart. You need to have patience. So these are some of the lines. I already had a line here, so again, it would make perfect sense really for Bitcoin to just retrace back to here. There's no need for it to come back under, and if it does at all, if it does, it's potentially just doing it as a quick wick to find support again off some of these moving averages. But essentially, I'm just seeing Bitcoin hovering here. I don't see any reason otherwise. I wanted to draw this trend line like this. Yeah, it's blue. So I'm putting this like this because... And then why did you take the blanket off if you're cold? So this trend line here, we had touched it here. I don't know if it goes any further back, but we had touched it here, and then it touched it. So once, there you go, once, twice, 3 times, 4 times before it literally just bounced off it. So I am keeping this trend line, this little green trend line in mind. I'll just keep it there for now, because essentially price may touch it again. It may touch it again. So even if it goes below than 31 and touches back to 29, this zone, like wicking off this trend line, if it follows it, then that's still okay, of course, because not only have we created a higher high, we would have created a higher low if it touches this trend line anyway. So if it does fall below 31, I don't want to just like not see that possibility, though it may not happen. Then 29 to 28 will be like the lowest. I don't really see it going any lower, and if there's a wick, it will be brought up quickly. So yeah, keep that in mind. If it falls below 31, 28 to 29 is the next zone. And what I'm also going to do after, because I can only put on the 2 indicators, I'm going to go through Bitcoin XRP and the DXY, and then at the end I will put on the RSI. I'll remove the 200 moving average, I'll put on the RSI, and then I'll remove the RSI, and then I'll put on the moon phases, and we'll just quickly go over each of them, because I definitely don't want to move my luminaries, because it like resets. It resets. I want to check this out as well, the monthly with candles. I want to check out the monthly with candles quickly if we can. Oh, this zoom in is awful. Just why doesn't it do it? Like, yeah, I had assumed, I was just like, I feel strongly. I don't know how to zoom in, people. Where's just the actual zoom? Because this mouse just isn't doing it. It's just not doing it. Is that a zoom? No, I don't know how to do it. But anyway, can you see this purple candle? Can you see the purple candle? I'm going to get better at this. Oh, God. Oh, here we go. Yay. It's come up. It's this. Yay. Okay. So, this purple candle. Oh, look at that. On the monthly, this just looks beautiful. So I was just like, in October, I'm generally seeing, even if there may be a wick down, the candle's just going to finish high. We haven't finished yet. We've still obviously got 3 more days until this monthly candle completely closes. But as of now, it's looking very, very strong. So for the next video, we will definitely pay attention to where it's closed. But look at this bounce. Look at this. We bottomed out here in November 2020. No, December, November. And then the candle just straight line up. In March of 2023, the body of the candle ended here, but look at the wick. The wick basically touched this green trend line, so I will be paying attention to this trend line. We then obviously went up and back tested this trend line and then fully bounced off it. So that's why I'm saying, if we do have any retest of this trend line, we're potentially just going up to the next zone. So we'll see how this monthly ends. We'll see how it ends. Okay. The winner, as I like to call it, the winner again, it's just moved quite nicely on this trend line. Interesting. Nice rejection. It wasn't really going below it, and then Bitcoin just went on up. So let's take a look at the smaller time frames. That's why it's nice to look at the candles as well, because with the with just the line chart, we're not seeing that was a wick, or was it here? There was a wick that touched this trend line, so we're not seeing that with that. However, let's just take a look at the smaller time frames before we get on to XRP. Okay, so yeah, if anything, if it has topped out on its momentum, price may just hover around about here whilst these catch up, or if it just needs that little retracement down to this 31 to allow these moving averages to cross up. But as you can see, we've got Saturn here with Pluto and Mercury. They're coiled up and they're all turning, they're sloping upward. So it's literally it's bullish. We are right now, we're bullish. Okay, just take a look at the candles. What are we seeing? Yeah, I'm literally just seeing up. It's upward. We're going up. If there's a retracement may happen, but we are for sure going up. These moving average, they're sloped to the upside. Did I notice something before when these cross over? So like when Saturn and Mercury and Pluto is above Uranus, Neptune and Venus, when they are above it, it's more upward movements happening. So yes, it's definitely to the upside. It's to the upside. I'm not really seeing, we'll check on the 15 minutes smallest time frame. Probably not much need. Okay, so price is just got under, it was under Saturn for a little while and Mercury and Pluto, but now it's above it, retested it, went above. So yeah, we'll just see how price responds here. Like, in all honesty, this could be Bitcoin's new bottom, and it could just be like, okay, I'm going on up before a retracement. Or if on the smaller time frames, if you have this on your trading view and price just gets below obviously this 200 moving average, then just that temporary retracement moving forward. But I do want to see this going back to the daily, and then we'll get on to XRP. So I just want to take a look at to the left, to the left, to the left. Everything you own in the box to the left, in the closet. Okay, so we're at a resistance. As you can see, we're at slight resistance. That's why price is hovering. That's why price is hovering there, because over here, price, when it was making its way down, got rejected off this zone. So this is why we've hit this like cap, and we're like, oh, we're hovering. So we'll just see. Bitcoin could just cluster here, having its bottom in here, before going on up, and its next zone is 37. This is the next trading cluster. So if we do go back to 31, in between 31 and 32, that will be healthy. If there is any lower movement, we've got this trend line. So as long as it's above this, then it's upward movement anyway. We're still creating those higher highs. But if Bitcoin just decides to just go on up, 37K to 38 is its next zone. That's its next trading cluster, so keep that in mind, of course. So going on to XRP in the hizzy. So let's just move these lines, just get a clearer look. This is lovely. Again, I was just like, is it gonna take a seat? But of course Bitcoin's been moving, so it's kind of just following suit with Bitcoin right now. And it's nice that we have gone higher than these points. So if it like was a dead cat bounce under the 200 moving average, I'd say, oh, it's going down, but we broke above it, so it invalidates that. And it's gone higher than these points as well, which is good. That is good. It looks like we were rejected, bounced off, and we're getting this retest happening now. So whatever zone this is, XRP may be ready to break out of it. But we'll see as we go into the lower time frames. But let's take a look as well on the monthly, and we will look at it in the next video to confirm. Oh no, it's the candles. So zoom in. Now I know how to do it. And I should have did know this time ago. How did I not know? So okay, of course, this month, oh, we're moving up, people. We've got a spinning top. Spinning top. It's not a doji. That kind of would have been there. But it was showing a little indecisiveness because it's more closer to the middle. But it's kind of like a spinning when it loads. Come on, love. It's kind of like a spinning top. So this is showing me trend reversal from this candle alone. Okay, it's showing me trend reversal. Similarly to what happened here, we had this candle for the month. So that was an indication. Okay, trend reversal, we're going down. We're now getting the opposite. We've got like this almost, like it's almost identical of how it opened and closed, like a full body candle here. But this is down, the grey is down. So this being bullish, it's a more bullish candle because it's purple. It's usually red and green, but I like purple, people, okay? I like purple. Anyway, this is showing me trend reversal. So we will pay attention, of course, to where this ends in the next 3 days. And we will definitely take a look at it in our next video where it's fully closed. But I'm seeing trend reversal with this candle. Especially because this has gone up. It's showing us that this is the trend, it's ready to go in, being reversed from this downward trend. Okay, so do keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. Let's just take a look at the lines with this trend reversal. Interesting, this trend reversal happened at 50 cents. It happened at 50 cents. Yeah, and price is kind of underneath this trend line. No, it's a bit over it actually, but it's round about this red trend line that's happening here. So again, all of that is interesting. Let's take a look at the smaller time frames with the candles. So as you can see, we have been just creating higher highs, essentially higher highs continuously. So this is a sign of strength. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 5 higher highs, and we've not gone back to this low. We had a wick down, and I thought, would it like fill out this wick? But it hasn't done it. It may not do it. Usually it kind of does, like it wicks down. Like look at this massive wick over here, and then price filled it up. We then had this wick, and then price filled it up. But we are still in Bitcoin season, not necessarily alt season, so that could still happen. However, it is showing signs of strength right now. It has created higher highs, and yeah, so just another example, we had this spinning top, like this indecision in the market, but it was showing a downward candle, and then look, the whole trend went down. Okay, so on the monthly we had the reverse, so it's a sign of upward momentum. Just a quick look here again. Okay, so on this one we are underneath this trend line, so I am keeping that in mind. This red trend line here that we were finding support on, as down as here, it wicked down to it, this trend line. Let me pull it down. There was a wick. So it wicked down to it, and then this whole time it's been finding support off this trend line. It literally bounced off it after the 1, 2, 3, the fourth one, just like Bitcoin, bounced off it, but Bitcoin bounced like a bit later. It fell below it, and then was brought back up into it, and then it traded underneath it, and we've been rejected off this trend line right now. Price went above it, but now it's below it, the body of the candle. So it's seeing, I guess, what happens round about this trend line, which is the 57-58 region. Yeah, this whole trend line basically in the 50s up to the 60. We'll see how price responds to it. Yeah, so I'll definitely keep this trend line there. Was we looking at the daily? We were, weren't we? Let's just take a look at the daily with the moving averages. So yeah, this is nice to see. That wick wasn't filled out, but it could literally be as below as above situation, so it probably won't fill it out. We may get just the opposite of this, and we may get a wick to the upside, and then it's kind of just sold a bit for then stabilization to continue to the upside. So this full moon energy is going to just show up about here. So this is kind of confirming to me this is XRP's new bottom. It has thankfully created a higher high past these zones, which is good. So this could be XRP's bottom essentially. We'll see how it responds, and it's kind of like creating a flag down and then on up. This is the daily, and on the daily we are getting that signal of trend reversal as well as the monthly. So that is interesting. That's very interesting. Let's take a look on the smaller time frames. Okay, so on the 4 hour we do have this flag energy, like this is the stick flag down, and it's probably ready to create its next flag potentially. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see, because we've had some rejections off this zone. Depends how price responds to Venus and Uranus and Neptune, because if it gets rejected off 56, around about 56 to 57, it may just be solidifying its new support, coming back down to here, maybe where it wicked. That's a possibility. To then, or even to just find quick support off of these. But I am seeing, it's nice that the 200 moving average on the 4 hour is sloping towards the upside. And when these cross, that could signalize like more momentum for XRP to go on up. Yes, we will see with the RSI when we put that on if it's oversold, overbought. So we will take a look at that after the DXY, but that's what I'm kind of seeing there. It will depend how price responds here. If it gets rejected, we could see 52 again if there is a rejection, but if it goes on up, it will be reaching that 58. If we pass at like happily 56 and 57, if we happily pass 56 and 57, 58 cents is going to be its next zone. So going on to the hour, my daughter, she just fallen asleep. She didn't want no juice, she was tired. So anyway, going on to the hour, it's lovely to see that it's being supported quite nicely off the 200 moving average, and it's just bounced on off. It's just bounced, look at that. So yeah, it could be more inclined to just continue up. This could full well be the bottom, because as price did wick down here, price has kind of come back down to where it almost wicked to, I guess, though there was a little lower one. But we'll see. We will see. As I said, when price finds its bottom with a full moon, you're able to long it because it's found its bottom and it's now getting ready to find its resistance. So that's the next move for Bitcoin and XRP, I guess. The bottom is in, it's fully like solidifying that, and it's making its way to find its new resistance, whether that's 38k for Bitcoin, 38.39, or this 58 cents to 60 cents potentially for XRP. Smallest time frame, 15 minutes, and then we'll move on to the DXY. YDY. Yeah, so again, as I mentioned before, on the 15-minute time frame, Saturn, Pluto and Mercury is above Neptune, Uranus and Venus. So that's telling me it's more upward momentum anyway rather than downward. When it's the reverse, the trend is going down. When it's this way, the trend is upward. And as you can see, just it broke through this and retested Mercury, Pluto and Saturn quite nicely, and it's just bounced off it. So all of these are sloping towards the upside, so it's potentially continuation up from now. This could be its bottom, and if it goes that little bit lower, we're still in the upward trend. So just keep that in mind. It's as I said, anything under $1 for XRP is a bargain. Anything under $3 is still a bargain, but this is even more of a bargain. So if you're in this for the long term, if you are in it for the long term, it's just like, hey, just accumulate. If wicks come down, don't worry, don't let it worry you, because at the end of the day, if you're in it for the long run, you know, you're in it for the long run. So moving on to the DXY. So we check the DXY because usually the currencies move opposite towards it. So if the DXY is going down, Bitcoin is potentially going up. Currency pairs against the dollar is going up, and gold, for example. So this is why we check the DXY. But let's take a look at the monthly, and we'll recap. We'll recap in the next video when you'd like to load, my friend. Yeah. Okay, so as you can see here, we had this trend reversal, didn't we? We had this trend reversal, and then price just went down. Now, this monthly candle has not ended, so it's going to be interesting how this monthly closes, to be honest. So we will definitely be looking at this in the next video, because if this closes down with like this, you know, reversal indication, then this would signal like, okay, the dollar's ready to just calm down now after this extreme rally. Like what is this? For months, literally for months, it's been going up since 2021. And did I not say we went into the eclipse? It's been a 2-year cycle since 2021, and the eclipse season that has just ended yesterday and today, it's come to an end. So this whole transition has come to an end. And if you've been working on yourself, working on things, movement, and it's coming into fruition now. Okay, because this has just been going up during this whole eclipse season. It's done its little retracement, and then it's ended. It hasn't created a higher high. So it's like, okay, you've created a higher low. So we'll see how it responds. We'll see if this closes to signal downward or upward. We don't know. We'll see. We will see. Take a look at the W. Okay, so this spinning top. This is interesting. But price still seems to be fighting. On obviously this time frame, the W, we have created a higher high structurally. However, we have not on this level. So it's going to be interesting to see how price responds. Yes, let's take a look at the daily a bit closer. And then we'll move on to the RSI for all of them. So this still like sloping up. I'm still seeing the dollar. It's still going to just try its best to maintain what it's doing, I guess, until it decides to retest these moving averages. Like it could well do. It is overextended from it. It's failing. It reached here, but as you can see on the daily, it's been struggling to get past this zone, this 106.69, as below so above. These numbers, people, like, they're saying stuff. So yes, it's showing a sign of weakness a little bit here. So we'll see how it responds. Its next leg would be here, 104, if it gets rejected. Well, no, maybe 105.5, and if it falls below that, its next leg is 104 for sure. Let's take a look at a smaller time frame. Oh, I've not even been putting on the lines. Yeah, so as you can see, price, it got rejected off this trend line here. And then it's just been failing to get past, but it found support on this zone. So it depends how it responds. If it gets rejected here, then yeah, here's its next leg. And if it falls through here, then these moving averages just look like the most beautifulest seat. Onto the 4 hour. Yeah, I don't feel there's much more to say to this really. We just need to see how it responds to this zone. If it passes it, it's like, oh, okay. If it passes it, or even if it retests it, this could be Bitcoin and XRP doing their little retracement when the market opens potentially. So yeah, crypto could just be finishing off its retracement. It may just get rejected, even if it tries to extend to get past to this point, or to get rejected off this line again. That's crypto just doing its retracement, but it may not go that high. We just have to wait and see, I guess, for it to then just make its way down. The smallest time frame I'll check is the hour, and then we'll check the moving averages. So on the hour, it is being supported by, like, literally just like a straight line by the luminaries and the 200 moving average. So price may hover on the smaller time frame. This may just allow price to just extend that little bit further, as I said, whilst the rest of them are just doing their retracement to finish off their structure. The retracement is healthy, and I feel I'd rather it retrace to get a more solid support, so that it can make a more solid movement to the upside. So yes, let's just go on to back to the daily. we can just go back to the lines because it's just a bit simpler for my mind. Oh, and as you're seeing on the line right now, it just looks like it's ready to come down. So on the daily for this, but I'm going to move the 200 moving average now, and I'm going to put on the RSI, and then we're finished with the moon phases. So the RSI, okay, so looking at the RSI for the DXY, we have been heavily just overbrought, you know, for time. It was making its way up. We've been overbrought, and we broke below the 50, went above it, and it's seriously just looking like it wants to just go down. In short, it's looking like it wants to go down. Oh, but on the weekly, could there be that little movement up? We'll see, because it's not overbrought on the weekly, and I've said that word, weekly, but this is just all interesting how this is going to spam out. Is the dollar still just going to rise, even though Bitcoin and the crypto is going up? We'll see. But on the monthly now, it seems like we're potentially getting rejected off this moving average. So yeah, if there's a bit of upward movement, it's potentially just still making its way down. Bitcoin. So the RSI for Bitcoin, oh, okay, so it was heavily overbrought there, but as you can see, we bounced nicely. So instead of being rejected like the DXY on the monthly, we've bounced nicely off it, similarly to this green trend line. So yeah, this is looking nice, this is looking healthy. Take a look at this. Okay, so on this one again, we kind of just bounced right up. So this is why potentially for this cycle, retracement may happen to just solidify this support. Again, that would just be healthy. It really would. Don't be shocked if it does that. Don't be shocked if it continues up neither, I guess. On the daily, where it's showing signs of being heavily overbrought right now. However, how this moving average is just supporting it, it's looking like it just wants to continue up, but it is heavily overbrought. So this retracement back to this 31.32 again would be healthy. If it wicks to this trend line, this 28 would still be healthy. We're still creating those higher highs. Okay, so with XRP, again, similar to Bitcoin, it seems as if it's just being just bounced nicely off of this moving average, and it's sitting on the 50 RSI. It's sitting on the 50, so this is showing a sign of strength on the monthly to me. It's showing that monthly wise, this candle may make that higher high to not only surpass this, but also to surpass this. Oh gosh. Oh, that's interesting, this zone, because this was back in 2021. Oh, we'll see how it moves. We had in our breakdown one of our Gematria codings of XRP November. So pay attention to what happens in November, I guess, even for XRP. Just keep that in mind, but it's looking healthy for continuation. With this time frame, the W, it has crossed on this moving average, so that's interesting, though of course it's kind of like just gone straight up. Will we have a little retracement? But it's showing signs of strength to me. It really is. Brief look on the daily, and then we'll get into the moon. We'll finish on the moon. So okay, on the daily, it's not like heavily overbrought like Bitcoin was, which is good, I guess, but we are reaching the oversold region, so a retracement again would be healthy. Don't be scared if a retracement happens. So move back on to Bitcoin. I'll just put this like this. Oh, the clocks have gone back, but did I get an extra hour? Did I get an extra hour with these children? Absolutely not. Can you hear another one? My son. So, indicators. We're going to put on moon cycles. So, moon, she's sleeping, darling. As I said, I felt like the moon is just going to sit right here. So essentially, even though, where's that 31, 32? It could come back to that 31, 32 region, as I said, for that retracement. But essentially, the bottom is kind of like here. So even if price just continues up, just don't be surprised. Like, I feel we just have to look at all the possibilities right now with all of them. But this is the bottom, essentially. So even if price wants to double test this bottom just to secure that, again, that retracement, it will be healthy and it will be okay. It will be fine. But the bottom's in, people. The bottom's in. It's ready to find its next resistance when this new moon energy comes in. You see, this new moon, there was a bit of resistance, and then it just went on up to obviously find its higher higher support. Basically, it's higher support. So just a quick look at XRP and where the moons have sat for that. Okay, hold on, man. Almost finished. So as I said again, this full moon energy has just plopped itself right here. So yeah, so price may not come and sit on this seat. Less likely, very less likely, to be fair. If anything, the most is round about the 51-50 region, where Uranus is. This is Uranus, to solidify this as its new higher low, before continuation, or as it's popped in, it may just go whoop because it may be happy with this being the bottom. So yeah, that's basically what I'm seeing there with the market. The bottom is in, as I've said, and we are moving forward. Balance is coming in, as I said, with the sun. This Libra balancing energy is coming in now, and within our time, we had a lot of Saturn's time. We're moving forward. Okay, so that means creating the higher lows, creating the new structures for continuation to the upside. But yeah, what are your thoughts with all of this, with all the links? As I said, we've had the Apple announcement, we had XRP Moon, we had all of that stuff. We've had XRP November, so pay attention. November may be a very good month. Maybe a very good month with all these balancing energies coming in, and we've got a lot of stuff. So stick around with me if you'd like to hear how all of this could be impacting the market. But if this made any sense, and if you like this format with the Gematria, with the astrology and the technical analysis, do let me know. Any feedback is highly appreciated. As I said, I do offer personal readings, birth chart readings. If you would like that, check out my energy updates, check out my other videos where I go into more depths for other stuff. And yes, thank you for listening to Crypto Angles podcast number 31. So the next one will be number 32, which is 32, which is 5. 3 and 2 equal 5. So change and connection is happening. You're gonna help me say it then, Bubba. But with that being said, Angel out, and my son wants to say something for you all. Subscribe. So I'll see you in the next podcast. Bye. Angel out.